Making money. So we at Yorkville, York Avenue and East 92nd Street by the M86 Select Bus Service going back to the west side. As you can see, I can't cross over there because they blocked off to go to FDR Drive to go over the other side. So in order for me to go on the other side of the thing, I have to walk a block over to get across the street to go over that side. So what I did was I shot it from right there to get shot the shot right there so it could get a clear view of what we're doing. As you can see here, cars are crossing. Cars are actually coming here to go to the FDR Drive to go. This will take you to the Bronx. Actually, if you're going to the Bronx, the Triborough Bridge is like the Bronx, like by Wakefield. Or I took this to the Bronx with my dad one time when my dad picked me up for the weekend. I only get to see him on the weekends. Actually, I never used to see him every day. He used to come around the weekends, and I used to have a little time with him on the weekends. We take a drive on the FDR Drive going towards the Bronx, and cause he had, my dad is like, we took the FDR to the Bronx, and we used to go to the Bronx and just relax and whatever, and took the FDR Drive over all the way down to the Bronx, and it was an experience. It was a learning experience for me to understand that, sometimes we're going through a lot of things in life that we have to really step aside and just forgive and move on. So I used to take a drive with my dad on the weekends to go in the Bronx, and this actually take you to the Bronx. Actually, people travel from the Bronx to Manhattan to go to work, and even Jersey, Pennsylvania, and there's actually apartment buildings right there. So the apartment complex right there. So as you could cross the street, let me cross the street and show it to you. Like you can see behind me. Yeah. So we right here by the water side, and you could make a wish if you didn't want to make a wish, Make a wish, it was come true. Alright. So right here we just come over here to relax and everything, See what's going. Right here. People running and jogging across the street over there, so you can see. Alright. So you can see, we over on East 96th Street is exit 14. and it's a Q train run over here. The Q train, they just built a Q line, the Second Avenue line. So the Q train runs on the Second Avenue line now. And they're gonna extend it to 125th and 2nd. And they started the contract to extend the Q line to 125th Street. They trying to extend it to 125th Street. So they're gonna do. They trying to add a new. They were trying to add a new line too called a T train. They was getting a T train to run from wherever they stop. They running from to Harlem. So they was gonna get a T train, but they decided to do the Q train instead of the T train. So right here, you know, a little bit of history about Harlem. Harlem was created by, you know, Martin Luther King, you know, all those favorite celebrities that grew up in Harlem. Jim Jones actually grew up in Harlem. He grew up on 125th, I think, by the housing projects where you just the housing by 116th and 1st, and mostly Jim Jones and all them rappers grew up in the project. Jay-Z actually grew up where Biggie Smalls grew up in Fulton Street, so project. So it's like that's where hip hop started. Hip hop started out in the Bronx actually in the late 80s when the Fat Boys and all the artists come in. They started beatboxing. Started in 80, I think it's 81 or 82, and that's when hip hop was created in Manhattan. Actually started up in the Boogie Down Bronx, and then from the Boogie Down Bronx to Harlem, and then Harlem was where everything started out, where the celebrities started rapping. The projects back then used to be like rapping, beatboxing, gangs, all those stuff used to be on the 80s, back in the 80s, and the swaggy pants, all that started out early in the early days. And now, you know, in those times we just gotta really start getting to know the areas and getting to know the certain places where you live at, and know that the areas you live at, we have to rebuke the gangs, rebuke all the violence and stuff like that, because that's where violence started. Hip-hop, when hip-hop started out in the 80s. So it's like every time hip-hop started where they rap about the guns and the knives and all that stuff, it's like you gotta rebuke that and start to live a nation again. So we're just trying to cool down the violence and end this violence once and for all, you know? Alright, see you on the other side of Brooklyn. Ah.